'Cause you never know what tomorrow brings in this crazy life. Hey, this life, this life, this life.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Barba223 back with another video, and today we're gonna be doing something a little different. We usually do some Magic DK stuff, but today we are gonna be doing some Magic Necromancer. I'll be showing you guys a new build I made. I've been using this build for a while. It's really good, so I wanted to give it to you guys. And I know Necro is a class that a lot of people ask for because it's so rarely played, so it's good. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate those of you that are viewing my channel, and I want to emphasize how important it is that if you do watch my video, please subscribe if you enjoy the content, because I'm really trying to get my channel out there and get some exposure, so it'll really help me out if you sub. And one more thing, subscribe. So let's get into it. So to start, obviously we're Magic Necromancer, so here's the stats. I don't have all my CP because I switched to PC recently, so I'm like 1,000 on PS4, so obviously the stats are going to be a little bit better, but we have 37,000 magic, which is plenty. Health is 23k, that's before you go into Cyrodiil, so that's really nice. 1,500 recovery before we're buffed, 1,700 before we're buffed, 1,700 spell damage before we're buffed, 16,000 spell resistance, 12,000 physical resistance before we're buffed. Of course we switch, and we got 22, 18, then we switch to the back bar. That goes up 26 and almost 22. So you know, that's the stats. The stats aren't everything, right? So we get into it. We're running we're a Breton for one, so that's probably the most important, I think, here is being a Breton, because you get that 7% cost reduction. So 7% cost reduction to magic abilities, that's like amazing. You kind of need that. I mean, you can go high elf or even dark elf if you want. And dark elf gonna be good. It's gonna be even better next patch, and I'm gonna tell you why once we get into the gear. So, and we're also using the Lady Mundus stone for the extra resistance, because I think that's key. And wearing light armor, you need resistance, so it makes up for what you miss out on. And resistance will go even higher. I'll show you that in a minute too. And we're using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. It's the best food. It's incredible. It's so good. It's just like you get amazing stats and you get health recovery. Like, come on, what else could you want? So now we'll get into some gear. I'll show you what I'm running. So on the front bar, we have the Master Inferno staff. We all know what this does. So reduces the cost of destructive touch by 10% and increases your spell damage by 600 for 4 seconds after activating. So this is really good. I mean, it kind of gets overshadowed by Vatistrand's and Black Rose Prison staff, but I think this is really good for especially Necromancer, because we don't have a good CC, so us using Destructive Clench get nice CC, and the damage from it is really going to time our bursts. It kind of works out good on this build. It makes me mobile, like I can move and still be able to burst. I'll show you the combos, but this kind of work, it fits into your build so well, and 600 spell damage is like, it's like almost Clever Alchemist by itself, right? So, and you can use it at will, which is awesome. So that's really good. I would say you can use Vatistrand's if you want to. It's preference, but I think I like the Master Staff right now. So for a monster set, we're using Engine Guardian. This again can be changed. I mean, you could use a damage set if you want. It doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it makes it like Engine Guardian, whether you realize it or not, is probably the best tanky monster set in the game besides Bloodspawn, because the line of sight with Engine Guardian, like the little guardian that spawns, right? So if we can get it to proc, if we can get it ever to proc, see, alright, so like you hide behind it, right? Is an enemy in front of you here, you can hide behind your guardian like this, and the enemy will hit the guardian instead of you. So that's like really good tankiness in itself. But you know, it's really good that way. So I like it right now. I might change it though. We'll see. So we have 1 heavy head and medium shoulder, and then we're running 5 light on the body, which I'll explain why in a second. But so on the body, we're running 5-piece shackle breaker, all light. We have, I think, 2 pieces crit resist, or 3 pieces crit resist in pen, and 2 pieces well fitted. I might even go more well fitted next patch, and the reason I say light armor is going to be back is because next patch we're getting a really good buff to light armor in terms of the fact that we're going to get more roll dodge reduction cost. So if you run well fitted on top of the reduction cost for roll dodging, you're going to get a really, really good reduction. You're going to be able to dodge rolls so much more than you ever did before. And that's also why we're running Shackle Breaker, because you get 2,000 stamina. So this is going to allow you to roll dodge so much more. And on top of it, you get the 2 pieces stam recovery, 3 pieces match recovery, and the 4 pieces weapon and spell damage. But then the 5 piece, you get 2k of each resource. So this is going to allow, this is very versatile in the fact that, because look, as a magic build, we have 18k stam, and I'm not even a dark elf. If you're on a dark elf, you're going to have 20k stamina as a magic build, and in next patch, you're going to be able to roll dodge way more. So you're going to be way more tanky in light armor and still get the penetration and still get the damage bonuses from it. So I'm telling you, I think light armor is going to make a comeback. I've been running it lightly on my builds, light armor, and it's so good. I think it's going to make a comeback. So just stay tuned to that, because I'm telling you, don't sleep on light armor, especially Shackle Breaker. The roll dodging is going to be awesome. I'm telling you. But I mean, this is going to be switched too. You can go more damage set, you can go Crafty Alfiq, but I think Shackle Breaker is the best in terms of tankiness and damage. It gives both. So that's why I run this. So on the jewelry, we have 2 pieces of trainee of the necklace and ring. This needs to be purple at least. I just didn't feel like buying one. But also on top of that, if you guys can go infused instead of max magic for arcane, that would be even better. So that way you could run 1 piece of 1 glyph can be magic recovery to get 258 from that, and then you can change this one to spell damage, so you get essentially 300 more spell damage. So what you really want is all 3 of them infused, 2 spell damage glyphs, and then 1 recovery glyph. That's ideal. This is not optimized right now. I'm gonna get there, but that's just what you should run if you can. And then on the back bar, we have a staff of willpower, resto staff. It's only because there's a 1 piece, so we want to get the most out of it, which you get obviously more magic, which your heals hit harder. And we have defending for extra resistance for our heals when we're trying to tank, and you get spell damage glyph on it to proc, so even more healing. You can also run the Maelstrom resto staff if you want, and then you can switch off Mortal Coil for rapid regen, but I'll tell you why I run Mortal Coil. So but now we can get into the skills. On our front bar, we have Degeneration. It's a must. I mean, if you really want to run potions for your spell damage, go ahead, but I'm not that sweaty. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a generic player. You know, I'm casual. I'm not casual, but in terms of being able to craft potions, it's not me. So Degeneration, it's good. You know, it gives you your spell damage. You need it. This is a must, of course. You need this for your Master Staff proc, and it's your only CC that really Necromancer has access to. That's a good one, so you have to use this. You use this CC. It's important for your burst combo too. So, Skeletal Arcanist. This one does AoE damage, and it's okay. It does like 1,200, 1,300 to real people, but the main reason you use it is because when you have well, you have a Grave Lord ability active, your physical and spell pen are increased by 1,500, so you're going to get that up pretty much at all times. Penetration is key, so this helps a lot with that, and it's a cool skill, you know, a little pet following you around. So Blast Bone, you know, bread and butter, it does a bunch of damage. Sometimes it's annoying, but when it works correctly, your burst is really good. It doesn't work a lot of the time, so it's such a good skill though. If they fix it, it's going to be amazing. It's so good. Crushing Shock, this is preference too. You could use Ricochet Skull, you could use Elemental Weapon if you really want. You could use Elemental Weapon. I don't really like Elemental Weapon, I feel like it's so slow, and I like the heavy attack, and the heavy attack doesn't work with it. So Crushing Shock I like the Interrupt too for Stamps Orcs or Snipers, whatever. Interrupt is nice. And then Ice Comet, it's really good. It's better than Colossus now because Colossus got nerfed into the ground with vulnerability. It's now 10% instead of 30%. So I think this is better. It's a stun, and if you can stun people right before your meteor pops, it's a GG. They're gonna die. And frost damage, it slows them like crazy. So really good. So in your back bar, Summoner's Armor gives you your major resolve. While active, it reduces the cost of your Blast Boon, Skeleton Mage, and Spirit Mender by 15%. That's really, really important for your sustain. You're essentially going to have way less. This is going to be 3,100 cost. This will be like 2k, 1,900, and this will be 3,100 as well. So 500 less. That's really good. You could use the other one, but you wear light armor, so you don't really want to bring people into you with the other morph. So this morph's going to be better here for you. Spirit Guardian, again, you could use Intensive Mender. I think this is better though, because in light armor especially, you're going to have access to major protection at all times. So while active, 10% of the damage you take is transferred to the spirit. So that's really, in other words, that's major protection all the time. That's amazing. I think it's better than the heal just because of that. Like being in light armor, it's going to make you way more sustainable. So, and the important thing to note is that with that, while this is active, you get 200 recovery. It's actually going to be more than that because it's a little bit weird how it works. You're going to get actually a little bit more than 200. So it's based on like the math. So Mortal Coil, you could use Rapid Regen, but I think this is better because you get extra healing done. It's a free cost. That's amazing too. And on top of that, you get 1,300 stamina over 12 seconds. Now, this is really, really, really good for roll dodging. You think it's important for a stamina build, but Magic too, because roll dodging, you're going to be able to dodge so much more often, it feels like, when you have this going. You're getting essentially, what, a little bit more than 100 stam recovery on top. So that's going to help you so much in terms of roll dodging. And it heals really good. Like, it's strong as hell. So I think this is better. And I've done a lot of testing with this. I think this is better than Rapid Regen. But again, you could use Rapid Regen here instead. It's up to you. Resistant Flesh, it's just a burst heal. A great burst heal at that. You get Minor Defile when you use it, but that's almost nothing. It doesn't matter. It's so good. And you grant the target spell and physical resistance half the amount of heal. That's going to make you much more tanky too, because if you're low health and you get a nice crit of 8k, you're going to get 4k resistance for 3 seconds. It's very good. So that's going to help you out a lot. And then Race Against Time. This skill is just awesome. It removes snares. It gives you major protection, or major expedition. I'm sorry, not major protection. It gives you major expedition. It removes snares and immobilizations and grants you immunity for 2 seconds. So essentially, if there's someone on you, magic DK, any stamina build, you can just run away with this, create distance, and do your burst. And then we have Ravenous Goliath. You turn into a beast. You're pretty much unkillable. You do a bunch of AoE damage. It's just, it's really good. So this is just a good one to use. You could use the Resto Alt. You could use whatever you want here. You could use Reanimate. You could use something else. But I think this is by far the best if you're in an outnumbered fight like I usually am. So it's really good. So now I would say let's get in. I'll show you guys my combo, the way I do the combo. So if we can find a little enemy here to fight. Let's see. One sec. There should be something over here. Here we go. Okay. So use this, right? You buff up. So really, it's really simple, right? Just Degeneration. Bring your blast boons up. Use that. Bang. Hit your blast boons. So you use your blast boons, Destructive Clench, and your blast boons will hit at the same time while your Master Staff bonus is active. So like, pretty much, L2. Use blast boons. Use Destructive Clench. They should hit around this. Use Destructive Clench. It should hit around a similar time frame. So the goal is you got to practice with it though. So just make sure what you try to do is use your blast boons, see it, pay attention to it. When it's about to go, you stun them with Destructive Clench. You'll have your Master Staff bonus, and your blast boons will hit with a free hit. They won't be able to block it since they're stunned. And then you just use Destructive Clench in between, or not Destructive Clench. I'm sorry, Crushing Shock in between, and you're good. And just keep your buffs up, and you're good. Make sure you have your Mortal Coil up. And if you need to get away, use Race Against Time, turn around, get back in the fight. It's not that hard. You're really tanky on a Necromancer, so you'll be able to take some damage. So it's really good. And as far as CP, I'm not going to get into that right now. The new update, I'm not even going to get into it. Everything's changing. I need to pay attention. And I'm not that high of a CP yet, so it's not going to benefit you guys much. So I just want to again remind you guys that it's really important that you sub, because I'm trying to get my channel more exposure, and if you sub, more people will, see my channel. And it's, I really like doing this for you guys. I think a lot of things are changing with ESO soon. I hope they're positive changes. I really don't hope they're negative. I think no CP is going towards a positive place. I play mostly no CP, and I think things are going to go in a good direction. This build really crushes people in no CP. It does so much. I love it. I'm going to give you guys a little clip here at the end, but trust me, it's very important that you sub. And one more thing, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one, and stay safe. I know things are crazy. So, peace out. And I hope you like my dance.
pretend we waste our lives lying with fame.